What's up, everybody? Another edition of FooserX Reacts. And I'm trying to find some other stuff. What can I react to? I'm definitely going to explore European stuff, like World Cup stuff, pretty soon. But I was just looking for World Cup stuff. This came up, World Championships. I clicked on it thinking it was something else, and it was like amateur doubles final on Tornado. I was like, you know what? I kind of like nitpicking amateur shit. I do. I don't know why. I feel like it is a great lesson to learn for all new players and even like seasoned players. Because just because you got like expert points doesn't mean you're a great expert. Doesn't mean there is not room to grow. Pros and masters, you can click off this video. So let's get it on. I don't. Who is like who is even playing here? I don't know. What is this? This is from like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Wayne Wicks and Steve Zeoke versus Ben Krueger and Charles Osmond. Final two teams. 91 teams in this field. That's pretty good, dudes. It's not like it was 10 years ago when I was playing, but you're talking about 100 teams and you guys are coming out on top. Absolutely fantastic. Like great showing. Like there's no losers here. Although, yeah, man. Second is the first loser. Like they are not going to be happy getting this far and going home. But still, whoever gets second going forward,
buddy Jim Stevens back with you from the
still a
2016
great
Tornado World
showing.
Championships here in Lexington,
So
Kentucky.
let's check this out, man. Who is?
On the left side of your screen, that is Ben Krueger in the
Guess
forward
that's
position. Charles Osmond.
Ben and Charles. And I am always a fan of wearing shirts that will send a message to your opponent. And Hulkamania, I mean, that's definitely one of the best shirts I've seen for a Fooser. And check out that amazing crowd for amateur doubles. It's like somebody's girlfriend, and then the other people are on their phone. And I think this guy's just like resting. He's like, I just need to sit down from playing and playing pickups. And so, not a great crowd. But this is why we keep playing to advance to the big crowds. Let's check this out.
Wicks and Zeoke won the winners bracket, so they need to just win one.
What was that? Okay, so this team over here, Mr. Wicks, they won the winners. Let's check it out. Let's check out their skills here. Bringing it over, setting it up, multiple tosses already, and then loss of ball control. I'm not ready for the finals. I thought I was, but I'm not. And that guy, patience on the 3-row. Pretty solid. He didn't hit it, but yeah, man. This is the first ball of the game. People want to make a statement. Oh, man. I'm going to have fun with that dude's 2-bar. I'm going to have fun with Hulkamania's 2-bar. Yeah, man. That's great patience. And not even a bad choice to do the quick wall after that. And then, no patience from the guy in black. Interesting deep. Good deep, but I would speed it up right now. He's going to get a read on that slow defense. Yeah, man. You cannot go that slow for all 15 seconds. I am wondering how this team got this far with that goalie right now. We are in the first game. That forward better turn it on. Like he better impress me. I think Hulkamania. He's just figuring things out. There you go. Again, look at that dude's D up front or and goalie. Hey man, it's not slow, it's fast. So good job. But you are not changing your defense. And what do we do on that? We just sit back and be like, hey, man, what is he giving up most? When he's moving it and he's buzzing it, he's basically staying here and he's staying right over here. And you give that man like a blur to it. And so what are the holes? Middle-ish push and long. So you just wait for him to drift over a little bit and you go pull side. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. And he tried. And he didn't. Let's look at that, man. We are trying to learn how to shoot. We are trying to learn how to shoot. Let's look at that guy's defense.
Zeoke, who have struck first here in this opening game, and now Krueger will get a chance to tie.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I mean, he showed a pull last time, and he's going to roller. So, alrighty. We can see already that yeah, man, if we're gonna have to predict who's gonna win this, it's not gonna be the team whose forward is switching shots in the first couple possessions. Like we just know that. Um,
As he sets up a snake shot
Look
here
at his
against
D, man.
Zeoke.
Yeah, man. Just what I said. You could be moving fast, and it looks like there's no holes there, but you you can't be moving from one corner all the way to the middle. Like you're moving, and you're still on either middle or you're on pull. So let's just count this out, guys.
And now Krueger will get a chance
We're
to
just gonna look at the
tie
pull side.
as he sets up a snake shot here against
Pull
Zeoke.
like look at that. Look, he's basically bobbing. Like he's moving fast, but it's basically you see my mouse. This is what he's doing. Boop, 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 boop. That is what you're timing. You're not looking at, oh man, he's moving fast. I don't know what. No, man, you are looking. You look at the center of that motion, and he is essentially doing this super slow bob. It looks fast. This defense looks fast, but it is slow as shit and is very easy to read. Let's look at this again.
As he sets up a snake shot here against
In,
Zeoke.
out, in.
Krueger.
Yeah, man, that is. I'm gonna do this one more time. I'm repeating myself for all you new shooters out there. This when you see this type of defense, you should be licking your chops. You pick one side, usually like middle and one side. He's like out there, middle, out, middle.
Krueger.
Man,
Try to come near side. Steve with a block. Rebound.
one more time. He starts off giving the pull a lot, but then he starts sitting on the pull and really just giving up that huge middle.
As he sets up a snake
right in here, man.
Zeoke.
Later in the count, he starts giving up this little that short middle.
Block. Rebound. Karams to the
All right.
5 of Wicks.
Nah, man, you cannot throw in an option right away like that. No.
Methodical player does lose it here.
Very fast. That was a very fast decision.
And another possession here. So
Not a fan of that pass, but executed it great. He's back to the pole. Like, so we know this dude is not a smart. I mean, not in a bad way. Sorry, man. Hey, executing good. You're in the finals of Worlds and 100 teams here, but I guess like when we're reacting to Master Foosball, we are looking at people taking their time, setting up the same shot, and that's just not what's happening here. And again, this is not bashing on anybody. These dudes are great players to get this far. This is a learning tool for everybody. A learning tool for everybody. Like, how are you supposed to okay, he set that shot up for the rollover last time, and we could see the easy defense. And he didn't read it right, but we saw some easy defense that he could score on, and he's already abandoning that. So if you were to sit on this like 2 or 3 times, like 2 or 3 possessions, you would get a read on, oh man, this defense is really easy. Like, let's make him change it up, or if he doesn't change it up, we'll keep blasting the same couple holes on this. So, yeah, man. This is why amateur stuff is great to watch, because it really gives us an opportunity to just understand how to get better. And we're not nitpicking. I mean, we are, but we're not doing this in a mean, malicious way. We're doing this in a, hey man, this is a learning tool. I'm not reacting to make fun of anybody here. I'm reacting to teach everybody, all you guys that are watching this, what to do, what not to do, what to read, what not to read. All right, man.
Blocked by Zeoke and taken away.
Let's check this out.
Nice defensive series
Setting it up for the toe pin. Again,
and
that is fucking nasty. I was gonna say something when he set it up there, like, hey man, that is not a great series, but he fucking blasted it, and we will see what other shit he has to go with that, because that was pretty brutal. That was out there and it was fast. Like, that really reminded me of European, like World Cup Euro style. So if he's got the other side to go with it and some banks and passes, that's an awesome series.
Game number 1.
Good patience.
With yet another possession here.
Yeah, man. Excellent execution from Krueger.
Shooting the ball so far, and then
nope. I will go back to the roller.
He went long. He went middle. Let's see if he goes far side here.
Nope.
Nope.
Again, man, he is not reading that middle well at all.
Make the block up into the air and off the table. So.
And you can tell, guys. You can tell again, no fault of his own. This is not a lesson he knows, and I'm giving you guys this this lesson here. When somebody is shaking their defense that fast and they're not bringing in that third guy and they're not doing random and they're never stopping and they're not really like getting in your head, they're just like doing this pattern. You like zoom out, like use your like look into this defense and like zoom out, and you will see this defense in very slow motion, and those holes get really huge. He's
And 0 for 4 shooting the ball so far, and then back to
yeah,
this.
man. What's happening here? Like he's on here and middle, but he's not on either one of those. So you could probably pop the pull side or the push
Snake
side,
shot. He
and then
went
he's
long, he
drifting
went
out
middle. Let's see, he
deep,
goes far
and then
side
he's kind of
here.
coming in, and
Tried to come
he drifted out, and that dude went, but he needed to wait for that dude when he was shaking to shake while he was coming in. So again, man, I am repeating myself to drive home this point of this is a very easy defense to shoot on.
back to that near side, and again, Zeoke there to make the block.
But and there's
Up
no
and into
reason
the
for
air
this.
and off the
There's no
tables.
reason for this
This
goalie to
swing
change
right
anything he's
to put
doing.
the ball back into play. 2-0 lead here in the first
Yeah,
game for
man, I
Wicks
like that
and
this guy
Zeoke.
went
It's
straight
the
back
amateur
to
doubles final
his
here
series.
at the
He is
2016 Toyota World
forcing that
Championships. And that shot on
good shot.
goal by Steve, who really is working that front pin series from goal very well. It's not an easy series to use back there.
It is not an easy
But Steve has
series
scored one and put another one on
unless
goal.
you're
Here he goes
from
again.
Europe.
You see the standard.
Okay, man. So what are we looking for here? In terms of how do we block this dude's series? You know what? I'm gonna save that lesson. I'm gonna save that lesson and see what we're looking at.
This one
And
though,
now he's
taken away by
going.
Krueger.
All right, man. Like, what's the point here? If you were gonna set up for a roller, are you gonna like trick him? Like, all right, man, I might go pull. All right, you got a good pull. I'm gonna go to the roller. No, man, just set up your shot and save an extra couple seconds off the clock.
Ben still looking for his first goal against Zeoke.
Yeah, man, I would time that pull side all day
Doesn't
long
execute
and
that
just
one.
wait for him to
Steve
come
again
really
has
in
possession
far in there. And
again goes back to the front pin.
yeah, man,
He fires it home.
that's
two
fucking
for
awesome,
Steve
dude.
Zeoke.
Let me check this shot. Let's check this shot out again. Let us check this shot out again. Boom. He has been going like long and spray, and he goes into motion, and that goalie bails, and he kills it.
Again, he fires it home. That
But
again.
one more time, man.
And doesn't execute that one. Steve
Okay.
again has possession of it.
Steve.
Again goes back to the front pin.
Yeah, man. He pushes it out there, and then he stops it, and then he goes. He like it's like that. It's a fake, and then he
fires it
goes. So
home.
that
That's
was.
two for Steve Zeoke here in this opening game. And he is
He's
pumped.
doing some T-Mac action back
It's
there. Like,
3-0.
hey, man, I don't need a forward. I do not need a
You see the
forward.
front pin scored on the tornado
Yeah,
table from
that dude's
two.
5-0 is why they're in the
Zeoke has
finals.
come out in his first game to get two of them. Another possession
Yeah,
here by
that-
Krueger. That quick shot attempt all the way back to
That's
Wicks,
frustration right
who
there.
can increase
And
his teams to 4-0.
yeah, and you
His
cannot
first
do
goal
the
of
slow
season
D
right here.
again. You cannot. What the
Snake shot
fuck?
by Wicks.
Everything's there, dude. Everything.
Wayne, again, taking plenty of time here. And we'll call it time.
I need to take a timeout because I don't know. I think I thought he would speed up his defense and he never did. And now I'm
Wayne
just like,
Wicks,
damn it.
Zeoke leading 3-0 in this opening game. Wicks will put the ball back into play.
Let's go, Mr. Wicks. Like you've seen two possessions where that dude is not changing up his D. Like
Wicks from snake shot position.
he can go middle. Man, look at that. He has given up every single hole. He's
Tried to go out to that
man.
left side, knocked down
Yeah, you can't
by
just sit there and wait on
Osmond.
it like that. I don't know what he was
Nicely
doing.
here by Wicks on his 5. Still 3-0 here in the first game. Zeoke so far has given.
All right, man. Let's go back here, and I'm just giving you guys 3-bar advice here. So when we see this back guy Steve giving that defense, we know, hey, that's a really easy defense. We pick one side. We don't have to worry about a crossover or anything tricking us up. All we got to do is wait for that dude to buzz off the middle or buzz off the pull side, and you just go. Because he's not buzzing from both positions. He's like, I'm still on pull. Oh, I'm buzzing on middle, but I'm really on pull. And then I'll go back to pull. Like, you just time the bob, and it's very slow. And this dude over here, he is basically giving the same defense, only he is not moving it back and forth very, very fast. But it's the same defense. So how do we shoot on a defense like this? Man, he is giving up every single hole. So what we tell ourselves, I'm going to just pick my best side, or fuck it. It doesn't even have to be my best side. Yeah, we'll pick my worst side. I am going to just time any hole I want, and I'm probably not going to go middle. I'm going to save the middles for later when I need them really easy. I am going to pick one hole, and I'm going to wait for him to abandon that entire hole because he's when he comes off it, he's not bobbing back really fast. Um, every single hole out here, like we'll go through all three of them. Fuck it, yeah, man, all three of them. Let's look at the pull side holes real quick.
Ball against Charles Osmond.
We'll just say like, okay, pull side, huge, huge,
From snake shot position.
huge, 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 huge. Oh man. Okay, so we saw that. Like he's doing a little bit of coming in and out, but
From
you know
snake
what I
to
talked
target,
about in my
Charles
3 bar
Osmond.
strategy shooting videos, you wait for them to fully commit from leaving the hole. And so he did that a lot during that defensive series, but he definitely kind of faked like, all right, man, I'm faking coming off. So now we're just going to be looking at the middle. And so you want to rotate which holes you're doing, but sometimes sometimes you hit the same hole twice in a row, and then you're like, all right, we'll just switch to another hole. So now we're like, pretend this is a different possession, and we're just going to we see this slow defense. So anytime we see this slow defense, this is our mentality. You pick a hole and you don't try to read his defense because we saw what happens when this dude tried to read his defense, and that was he got bricked. He for like 2 possessions. Like the first time he called timeout because he couldn't figure it out, and the second time he waited so far again. Nah, man. You see your hole and you wait on it, and then you vary up your time. So again, we're looking at middle.
Wicks from snake
Huge,
shot position.
huge, 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 huge. All right. Now let's go to pull side. You could hit any hole you want
Ball against
on this
Charles
dude's
Osmond.
defense. As long as you're not anticipating the hole, because he's being a little bit smart. But on this type of defense, we're not anticipating jack shit. We are going when that hole is open. So we're just again, we will look at push side.
Snake shot position.
Huge, 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 huge. So he read the right hole, but he definitely did not get out there, and he didn't take it when it was really, really big. But
Still 3-0 here in the first game.
all 3 of them were there.
Zeoke so far has given up nothing and has scored 2.
Good pass.
Great start for Steve Zeoke and Wayne Wicks, and another possession here by Krueger, but he can't hold on to it as it squirts back to his own 5. Pass attempt blocked by Wicks, and then along the wall again goes Ben. Back to the
Yeah, man, that dude is not changing his defense. You should be dialing in on that.
Zeoke really overplaying in that direction. Shot near side, blocked it again, taken away by Zeoke, who is pitching a perfect game so far. Back to the pin shot for Steve.
All right, that's like 4 2 bars in a row, and
that one
4
angle up the middle, a quick pass near side.
4 push side toe pins. So he better start throwing in some banks or pull side toe pins.
That one off the outside wall,
Because if he doesn't, then his 2 great 2 bars are gimmick shots. Or something you can key off on.
And yet again, it's Zeoke in possession.
Yeah, man.
Now one stab forward into the goal by the 5 of Wicks. It's 4-0.
They definitely need a timeout. The team in the black and red, Hulkamania.
And Zeoke is Krueger trying to find some way to put the ball in the hole.
He is getting a lot of possessions. And that's the same exact defense as the rollover. So this is why, all right, man. This is why if you're a goalie, you have to be a smart goalie. And you have to, after 3 or 4 possessions, you need to just tap your, like, and Gummison taught me this. I think he did. Sometimes your forward will just get like red eye. Like they will just get so focused on, man, I could beat this D. No, I can't. I could beat it next time. I'll beat it next time, and then they get it. No, I'll get this next time. Oh, next time I'll call a timeout once I get it on my 3 row. But then they get on 3 row, like, no, man, I could do it. I could do it. And you need your goalie, and sometimes you have to tell your goalie, call timeout for me. Lean into me so I physically cannot take this shot, so we can go discuss what's up here. Like, what is his defense doing? Because he is not outthinking you. I mean, he is not throwing up tricky shit here. It's just a matter of, hey man, what's what's he doing? Like, what are the holes being open here? Like, what should you be doing here? So you have to stop the bleeding with the timeout here.
By Wicks and then picked up by Wayne, who angles that one
Yeah,
through.
and that guy's not.
And here's Charles Osmond. We haven't had a chance to say Charlie's name a whole lot so far in this opening match.
Yeah, good
That
pass.
pass right onto the three rod of Krueger, but Ben couldn't hold on to it. Picked up again here by Wicks. Wayne, looking lane, looking wall. Tried to go lane. You saw
I don't even
Krueger
know
get
if
a
that
piece
is
of it.
a
Ben has
good
certainly
pass.
won the
It
battle
seems
of the flag
slow,
so
and that
far,
fast
but
defense
has
just
yet
got a
to
piece of it.
score
But he might
on
have
Steve
read that right.
Zeoke. Osmond fired that one up the table, and another
Interesting
possession
little
here for
fakey
Krueger.
shot. That's pretty
He was
cool.
0 for 8 or possibly 0 for 9 so far in this opening game. Ben sets
Yeah,
it up,
he
tries to
is.
come down the middle, and again,
That
Krueger
dude is
knocked it
all in his
down,
head,
and then eventually
and
gain a possession.
he is not
Shot
even.
just wide
He
of the
just needs to
goal,
chill.
bounces back to the 5 of Wayne Wicks. Wicks looking to brush
Going
the
back to the
ball this
brush
time.
instead of the stick series.
So we've only had the
Oh
one
man,
goal so
hammers that.
far in this
Maybe
opening
that should
game
be his
from a
main
forward,
series.
and that was this guy,
Look at that.
Wicks, who will now set it up again,
Same
looking to win
defense.
this
Yeah,
opening
there
game.
it is. That's what you do. And look, yeah, he's like, yeah, man, I know how to do this. Like, why am I giving that goalie too much credit? You just mix up your timing on a slow-moving defense while focused on one hole. That's what you do, and because that way they don't know when you're going. If you keep waiting deep into the count, then that's when they can start laying their traps, and you don't want to fall into their traps. So you just got to mix it up, and that's what I think Wicks did. I think that's his name. Excellent, like excellent
And he
pass,
fires
excellent
it
shot.
home. Game number 1 goes to Wayne Wicks and Steve Zeoke.
Yeah, I don't know. Like it did not look like there might be some editing here, but it did not look like his goalie and the forward got together to talk about things. I mean, this is the finals, the Worlds. Like this is not a DYP where you go home and you're like, I'll get him next week. No, man, you just went through 90 teams. You need to figure out a plan, and this game needs to end right now. Like you cannot afford to lose a single game, even like a possession. Every possession needs to count. So you cannot keep doing what you're doing, and that's what the goalie has to be comfortable talking to the forward about, because you're in the finals. Maybe you get like tunnel vision.
Ben Krueger will put the ball into play, opening up game number 2. Krueger and Osmond still looking for their first goal of this championship match, and it's taken away here by Wicks.
Oh
Steve
man,
Zeoke
that
carried a
dude's
lot of
got
the
some
offensive
patience.
load in that
It's all
first
right,
goal, and
man.
of course carried all of the defensive load as he shut down the opponent. And Krueger had approximately 10 possessions on his 3-rod. He's going to get another one here as he
Yeah,
sets
that's
it up
it, man.
and strokes
Good
home the
shot,
goal
brother.
shot. So finally, Krueger able
Take
to
your
get through
time,
Zeoke, and he has
dial
given
it
his team
in,
a
and we'll
1-0
see if that was
lead
a fluke
here in game
or
number
he
2.
finally took his time and figured out what
Wicks
was
and
going
Zeoke
on
win
with
this
that dude's
game. They're the
defense.
2016 amateur doubles champions. Wicks
Oh
brushes this
man,
one
that was a
down along the
fantastic.
wall.
Like that toss was
And
so
Osmond with a
slow.
quick
That
shot
was just a
attempt and
juicy
tries
pass.
to
He
get
just barely
possession of the ball once
misexecuted it.
again. Upper left-hand
I
corner
could
of the
see
table.
why
Tried to go with that short push shot.
they're in the
Blocked away by
finals.
Wicks. Osmond again. 1-0 lead for Krueger and
Nice
Osmond.
grab,
Game number 2.
little
And that was
fast.
knocked back by Krueger after the initial block by Wicks. Picked up here by Osmond, who tried to go along the outside wall, taken away by Wayne Wicks.
But and again, let's go back to this. I think it's Krueger gets the ball on the 5 row. One more time.
Osmond
He
again.
gets the ball on the 5 row, dudes.
1-0
And what
lead
does he do?
for Krueger
Super,
and
like not even
Osmond.
reading it, just like, hey man, I'm gonna go. The key is on autopilot up there. This is not a series. It's just passes strung together,
Osmond here
and
in game number 2,
and
and
he
it's been
loses it.
knocked back.
So not like at first you're probably thinking like, no big deal. It wasn't a turnover. It didn't go to the dude's 3 rod. No, but what happens? Like
By Krueger after
that's
the initial block by Wicks. Picked up here by Osmond.
that
Tried to go
now
along the
you see
outside.
that now we see the consequences of being rushed on the 5 row. Like that's not. I mean, that's a little bit of the goalie's fault, like turning it over, but this is what comes from rushing your 5 row. Like you are giving away your possessions and the other team is going to capitalize on it. So let's say that again. When we rush and we turn shit over or we get blocked or whatever, or just when we rush period, that's not smart foosball. and it lowers our percentages. And when things get lowered when they go past the like that level of acceptable, you were giving that team across the table from you opportunities to win, and we don't want that. Especially like this is the worlds here. Like there's pressure on both teams here. I feel like you can feel it a little bit on the Wicks side, even though they're dominating. But when you keep giving them the ball and you're not taking your time on the 3 row, or you're not figuring out the defense, that just adds to their confidence, and then they start relaxing a little bit. Oh man, we don't even have to play our A game. We could just like cash this game in right now. We'll just like air mail it in. That's what I meant. No, man, you want to keep the heat on them so they feel the pressure. They feel the pressure of the moment, and you will not make that happen by playing fast and making fast decisions. So we'll see if this dude keeps up with his slow defense. Yeah, man.
Take it out to the far side. Osmond there to get a piece of it.
All right. I mean, he's got smart D with this one defense. And again, like he's like, hey man, you're gonna move it slow. I will take that first hole the first time it opens. So again, like Mr. Wicks made that adjustment. All right, what happened here, dudes? Like, post this in the comments below if you understand what just happened. Why did Mr. Wicks get in the back here? His goalie blocked like 20 shots in a row, let one in, and then and the forward's like, nah man, let me get back there. Let me see what I can do. Like, is it, hey man, you were having so much fun blocking him, like I went in on that action. I want to have a lot of fun too blocking this guy. We'll see, man. You better block him, because that that was not a smart switch if you are trying to win. I mean, that's just, but who knows? Like, maybe they played these dudes before. I don't know. I do not know.
Side, Wicks moving back to goal. Krueger.
Great pass, taking his time. That was part of a series.
Has been very good. This time he'll be shooting against Wayne Wicks.
Yeah, this is a different defense. And he's like, that.
So Krueger starting to heat up, and he has given his team a 2-1 lead here in this.
Oh man.
Back to forward comes Wicks.
That's the type of mistake, man. You let some shots go in, or stuff doesn't go your way, and you go to a third game, like you're gonna be kicking yourself.
Not really sure why that switch was made.
Oh yeah, thank you, Jim.
9 out of 10 at least.
Right.
For that previous possession, but moving back to forward here is Wicks, who will look to tie it up here in game number 2. Wayne Wicks.
Good pick.
Down the middle. It's 2-2.
I mean, that hole was huge. The push side was huge. Like all 3 holes are huge when you are moving it that slow.
In Lexington, Kentucky, site of the 2016 Tornado Amateur Doubles Final, which we're watching now. Krueger has a little bit of difficulty, and he's going to use a timeout. 2-2 here in game number 2. Van Krueger will touch 3 men to put the ball back into play. Krueger looking to advance it, but that one off the man and in.
Yeah, and this is why you don't make that switch, because even though they're not outplaying you, like shit like that might happen. I mean, let's hope this doesn't go 3 games.
Wicks will put it into play. 3-2 lead for Krueger and Osmond. Wicks.
Oh, nice grab. Seemed like he's a little, maybe looks a little jittery on the 5, but that was a great grab. And yeah, that's yeah, man. You want to keep doing slow defense. I figured that out.
Each possession went with something quick there, much to the surprise of Charles Osmond, and it worked, and it's given his team a tie here at 3-3 in the second game. That pass along the wall.
Great pass. It looked like there was like a little hesitation in there. No, he just did it right off the toss. Good stuff, man.
Within 1 of the title as he sets it up.
Moving a little bit, yeah. He is moving a little bit faster now, but still basically the same defense. Yeah, Wicks just had to figure it out. He just had to figure out that defense, and this is why we need multiple we need to rotate speeds. Unless you're really in that dude's head, we need to rotate speeds when we're in defense because they will figure it out. And you got to give credit to Wicks here because he figured it out. And maybe, and again, too, these guys are amateurs. By the time they've been playing like another year or two, like now, what is this, like 5 years? He has figured that out. Hey, man, when I see this slow defense, I know exactly how to shoot on it. And he just doesn't have the experience. But now he's getting it through this, and he will keep doing that the more he sets it up for the rollover. So next time it won't take him a game to figure it out. He will figure it out right away. And that's where Tony's at right now. Oh man, if Tony were to see this defense, he'd be like, oh man, go through his Rolodex. Oh, this is how I shoot on that. Boom, 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 boom. It's already ingrained to him. Hey man, this is the tempo they're doing. This is what their defense is like. I know how to shoot on that. I will adjust my shooting strategy. Just dial it into whatever it needs to be.
Another possession here and get it through Steve Zeoke as he puts it into play. The bounce pass knocked down by Wicks. Zeoke able to pick it up.
Great, good
Steve
grab back there.
He scored 2 of these in the opening game. Zeoke dancing with it on that near
He needs
side.
that bank that Abdullah has
Towards the middle and then down the middle
to go with that
bounce
series.
and spin to the 3-rod of Krueger. Ben will set it up, looking to tie it up here in the second game. But there's Zeoke again to make the block. Rebound
Very
comes
rushed.
to Wicks on the 5. Wayne tic-tacky. Tried to get to the lane. Krueger might have got a piece of that when it comes
He is not.
Osmond, who fires one off that inside.
He's got like a
goal.
refined
By
series,
Zeoke,
but
who again will
he's
set
really
up
just
front.
relying on like
That one
grabbing
goes wide
it,
of the goal. Rebound is scored backwards and then
almost like that.
I believe it'll roll to a dead stop. No, it's grabbed there as Wicks tried to knock it back into play. It was
Oh
picked up
man,
by
great
Krueger.
defense.
Eventually, Wicks does grab it on his 5 as he now looks to advance it to his 3-rod. Wicks hovers and then
Nice.
rushes it through the lane. He's got a chance to win it right here. Wayne Wicks sets it up.
Yeah, now he has changed his defense.
And
But
strokes it home.
not enough,
Wayne
though.
Wicks and Steve Zeoke are the 2016 Tornado Amateur Doubles Champions. Great performance by the 2 Canadians.
Hulkamania is like, hey man, can you give me some balls over there? Oh no, I just want to shoot him out because I didn't really get a chance to.
Hi again, everybody. Jim Stevens back with you from the 2016.
All right, what's our final thoughts on that? Let's think about that. We learned our lessons from that video. Again, congrats to both teams. 100 teams in that event. Fantastic showing. Congrats. Like any title, like even a DYP first place means something, but you get a world title, that's you could just retire and just feel good about yourself. So congrats to them. Pretty awesome. We learned a couple things. One is when things aren't going your way, when somebody's in your head, you have to have the discipline to call timeout, to go through your Rolodex and like, man, what, like talk it out to yourself. What is he doing back there? How do I need to shoot on that type of defense? And the other thing we really learned on that was how to shoot on those 2 specific types of defense. The people who move really, really fast, but they're not bringing in that third guy and they're not switching it up to standard and reverse. They're just sticking in the standard or they're sticking in reverse. Like they're not crossing over ever. That's a really easy defense to score on. And then that one guy's defense that was really, really slow, and he didn't start adjusting it until the very end. But we learned how to shoot on that defense too. And again, give credit to Wicks for figuring that out. So good stuff, guys. Congrats to both those teams. They play really well.